Hey, this is Pastor Purple. Today is a very warm day here in the Netherlands, and we are having not just summer weather, but unseasonably summer weather. It's quite wonderful, and I thought I would just take the time to do a podcast, not a podcast. I've been listening to a podcast, that was really weird, a video thought for today about compassion. I've really been quite affected by all of the happenings in my home city of London. It is where I'm born, raised, lived most of my life. It is home. I identify with so many elements and places that have been affected by terror attacks and by tragedy. And it's been really hard to be so far away and feel so not very helpful. I have been able to direct others that have been there and help in that way, but not really be able to. But one of the questions that kept recurring for me is this idea of compassion and how much compassion I have for those people, and especially in Grenfell, how much compassion I had for their loss. I identified with their living circumstances, with the situation that they were faced with the marginalization, with the and all of those awful political elements that were playing into this human tragedy and this human story. And I felt, just huge compassion for their situation. And one of the things that really struck me is how many times in the gospel we read in the gospels that Jesus looked and had compassion for somebody, and he did something, he acted. And I had to preach this Sabbath for communion, and we through deep prayer and much thought and careful consideration and really trying to meditate on what God would have us preach on, I really had to ask the question, where is our compassion? Where is our heart for people? When it's people that look like us, which we identify with, we can have great compassion. We can look at them and see the problems. But Jesus didn't limit himself that way. He looked at Samaritans who were not the favor of Jews, and he felt compassion. He looked at the Roman centurion's situation and he felt compassion. He looked at anybody that came into his vision and felt compassion. And then it made me really scared, because we live in a world where that's not true anymore. We don't see people, we see the other, and we push the other away. We see the immigrant, the refugee, those people, those migrants, those immigrants, and we don't have compassion. We don't see the human. We don't see their story or their struggle or their pain. We see all that politically we've been told, and we've politicized our compassion. And how frightening is that? So today I'm challenging myself. I think I see people. I don't know. I mean, I think I stand as a person who sees the human and who wants to be compassionate for others. But then I wonder, am I doing enough? And today I'm going to reflect for myself and look and see where I could see people and have more compassion like Jesus had. And that is my challenge for myself. That is my challenge to you. Do you actually see people, or do you see other? And can you have compassion for someone who doesn't look like you? It is easy for me to have compassion for those that were in the Grenfell Tower, because I lived like that. I understand those circumstances. That is close to my home tower block. It's close to where I lived. I know what that is like, and I could see that. But what about for people who don't live the way I lived? What about for those who are made refugees and who live in an awful way? Can I have compassion for them when their houses have been bombed and they are left? They wake up one morning and everything is gone, and they don't know where to go and what to do, and they flee their country afraid for their lives. Can I have compassion for them? Can I have compassion for people who I see as the power majority? I live in a Western society where class, race, gender all play into the politics. It's easy for me to have compassion for different ethnic groupings. It's easy for me to have compassion for women. It's easy for me to have compassion for the working class and the poor. But can I have compassion when I see the rich? those who are not marginalized? Can I have compassion that they too deserve love and kindness? And these are really challenging concepts. And, you know, if we're Christians, we have to have compassion. We have to follow Jesus's model and have compassion. So that's my thought for today. It's a sobering one. It's not so easy. I'm still mourning. I'm still shocked. I'm still living with the aftermath of the tears that have been shed for the last few weeks, months, with all of that has happened in my home city and in my home country, and I'm still living with that. And I think there are many who have lost and who have felt the pain even stronger, and who are living in ways that I cannot even begin to explain. And I pray for all of those who are experiencing such difficult times and are feeling abandoned and lost and alone, and like God doesn't care, and like people don't care, and like the world is against them. I pray that in those moments that you will feel God's presence drawing closer to you, and you will feel his love wrapping itself around you, and you will feel the compassion that God has for your situation, for you as a human, that will come, that will be a hiding place, a place of peace, a place of comfort for you, as is promised in the word. So God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.